Yes, sir.
Our subject for today, as Brother Gerald stated, is separation, reparations, and the birth of a nation. Separation, reparations, and the birth of a nation. And it's a heavy subject. And of course, we could piece it apart and take each one of those things and make it its own subject, which of course it is. But they all mix together.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
It all comes together. And the reason why we ran up on this subject is because I'm looking at this cover of the Final Call newspaper.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Racist, liar, con man. Which is, of course, what Michael Cohen, who is Donald Trump, President Trump's former attorney, his former cleaner, right?
Yes, sir.
His former fixer, when he went before the Congress, his opening statement was, first off, I like the way he did it, because he came in and he had all of this documentation. He had canceled checks and contracts and all sorts of documentation, and he said, I'm bringing forward this evidence, and then I want to let you all know that Donald Trump is a racist, a liar, and a con man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I'm like, whoa, that's how he started off his testimony.
Yes, sir.
And then he just ran down the riot act on this
Yes,
dude,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
And the thing that stood out about that whole proceeding is that the Republicans, nor the White House, ever disputed anything that he said.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
They never said, nah, that's not Donald Trump's signature. He didn't write that check. He didn't sign this document. They never disputed any of the things that he stated on the record. Very interesting that the president, the leader of the so-called free world, and that's Brother James's phone when he comes in, is a racist, liar, and a con man.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
Very interesting that in social media, the talk right now is separation.
That's right.
The talk is reparation.
That's right.
Well, we all know and understand that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, told us that separation is the best and only solution to the problems that plague black and white
That's
in
right.
this country.
That's right.
He said that
That's
long
right.
time ago.
Long time ago.
And been standing on it ever since.
That's right.
Now I want to read something from this book, Message to the Black Man, on page 227, right?
Yes, sir.
And the chapter is entitled, Separate and Be Saved. And I'm going to just read a little bit, and it ties right into what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to go quickly. The unwillingness of the slaves to leave their masters is due to their great love for the slave masters. If America is unwilling to grant her 22 million ex-slaves freedom to go for self today, it is the same unwillingness of white America's forefathers, thank you, sir, in dealing with our parents less than 100 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
During the time of the Emancipation Proclamation, we were scattered to the winds without any knowledge or ability to undertake the responsibilities of a half-freedom. Our fathers, lacking the skills and the training needed to provide for themselves, were forced to remain with the masters in order to receive even the barest necessities of life. Our former slave masters, knowing of our dependence upon them, maliciously and hatefully adopted attitudes and social educational systems that have deprived us of the opportunity to become free and independent right up to the present day. Now this is heavy,
Yes,
you know, because this book was published in 1965.
Go ahead.
Right? But we, the black slaves of this soil of bondage, were not deprived of the freedom to fight in America's wars, but we are deprived of the right to fight for our own freedom.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man. The opposition met by our foreparents who fought for their freedom is a chilled memory that history will not forget. The black people are given the freedom to give their lives for the American cause of tyranny, but are not free to fight for their own freedom and independence. As long as my people are the blind lovers of their enemies, they will seek to forever return to the bosom of their masters in no better status or position than that of a slave. Now I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to read that again. As long as my people are the blind lovers of their enemies, they will seek to forever return to the bosom of their masters in no better status or position than that of a slave. Separation, reparations, and the birth of a nation. Now the basis of the subject is a scripture. Now remember that about that freedom part and being tied to our masters.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Right? Now, the basis of this lecture, right, is this scripture. This is Genesis 15:13 through 15, right? Where it reads, and he said to Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 100 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward they shall come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age.
Yes, sir.
Now that's heavy. Because in that, and we'll piece it apart, it's going to be separation, reparations, and the birth of a nation. Right in that scripture. So, the question is, in 2019, do we need to be separated?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, that's really the question. Is that still necessary? Is that still a question that we have to ask ourselves in 2019? Are the relationships between blacks and whites in this country such that we need to be separated?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Right? Because on every page, or every Final Call newspaper, on the back page of what the Muslims want, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad tells us what exactly it is that we want.
Yes, sir.
In the Muslim program. So there's no question as to what it is that we want. The first thing is we want freedom, right? We want a full and complete freedom. The second thing is we want justice. Equal justice under the law.
Yes, sir.
Now I want y'all to listen to what we're saying here. We want justice applied equally to all, regardless of creed, class, or color. Thirdly, we want equality. We want equality of opportunity. We want equal membership in society with the best in civilized society.
Yes, sir.
The fourth one of what we want is we want our people in America whose parents or grandparents were descendants of slaves to be allowed to establish a separate state or territory of our own, either on this continent or elsewhere. We believe that our former slave masters are obligated to provide such land and that the area must be fertile and minerally rich. We believe that our former slave masters are obligated to maintain and supply our needs in this separate state or territory for the next 20 to 25 years until we are able to produce and supply our own needs. Separation.
Separation. Yes, sir.
But here's another important part that I want to just read. Since we cannot get along with them in peace and equality after giving them 400 years of our sweat and blood and receiving in return some of the worst treatment human beings have ever experienced.
Yes, sir.
We believe our contributions to this land and the suffering forced upon us by white America justifies our demand for complete separation in the state or territory of our own. That's heavy.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
But that fourth one was contingent upon receiving justice.
That's right.
Receiving freedom. Receiving equality.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
None of which we received. So, we can look at the news today, and we don't have to look at, we could take the Final Call newspaper as an example, but we can just think about some of the things that have been happening in the news.
Yes, sir.
Stephon Clark.
Yes, sir.
Y'all know who Stephon Clark is, right?
Yes, sir.
The young brother in Sacramento, California.
Yes,
A
sir.
year ago,
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
was running through, he was being chased by the police, running through the backyards, ended up in his grandmother's backyard. The police say that they felt threatened.
Yeah.
They say that they thought he had a gun. Of course, he didn't have a gun.
That's right.
But the thing that kills us today is they said that they felt threatened.
Yeah.
But they shot the young brother 3 times in the back.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel threatened if somebody is fleeing?
Yeah.
Right? So Sacramento is going up right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Sacramento is going up right now because of the lack of justice. Then you got, and I'm just bringing up certain instances in the news of injustice and how it's doled out amongst our people.
Yes,
Now you
sir.
got Paul Manafort.
Yes, sir.
Y'all know who Paul Manafort is?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
Paul Manafort was Donald Trump's former campaign manager. He was convicted of, listen what I'm saying. This dude was convicted of tax evasion, fraud. He lied to the FBI. He lied to Congress.
Yeah, go ahead.
He got a deal they were going to be lenient on him in exchange for being truthful in his testimony, and then he lied after that on the deal.
Yeah, that's
where
right.
they're like, damn, this dude is lying to us even after we gave him a deal.
Yeah.
He was facing 19 years to
Yeah.
24 years in penitentiary.
Right.
But for whatever reason, the judge in his case felt that he had been an upstanding citizen up to this point. And he ended up getting a little bit over 3 years.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead. That's right.
Now, I mean, man.
Injustice.
Injustice. Right? Injustice. And we can go on and on and on and on about the injustices that we face in this country. Now, Brother Gerald touched on our brother, Michael Jackson, right?
Yes.
And I don't want to argue whether or not Michael Jackson is a pedophile or anything like that. I don't want to argue that. Honestly, I don't know. The
Right.
truth of the matter is.
Right.
I don't think that he is,
Right.
but I don't know.
Right. Go ahead, brother.
But what I do know is that he was charged and he was acquitted.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
That's right. Go ahead, brother.
So, which leads me to my first slide. Y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
Where mine go?
Alright.
Go ahead.
So what's wrong with this picture? I'm gonna give you the context of the picture, right? This
Yeah,
picture
go
was
ahead.
taken in the early 2000s
Yes, sir.
when they were accusing Michael Jackson of pedophilia.
That's right.
Right? Oprah, bless her heart, and I'm like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and that I love our people. I love Oprah Winfrey and the contributions that she's made to our people. But in this picture, she was defending Michael. She did an interview at Neverland, and you know, at the end of it, she came out and she said, "This is one of the most beautiful human beings that the world has ever seen. And I think he's misunderstood, that he's being wrongly accused." A very, very favorable article, right? Or interview. Michael Jackson loved on her, she loved on him. But now, Oprah, like Brother Gerald was reminding us of, does an interview with the two accusers of Michael Jackson, where they do this scathing documentary, and I haven't seen it. I don't think I'm gonna see it. But they do this documentary that's very one-sided. You know, Michael Jackson fans and proponents are saying it's a hit job on Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Very graphic, very foul in terms of what they say that Michael Jackson did to them. You know, very, very heinous. You know, I mean, just terrible.
Yes, sir.
Paints Michael Jackson in a horrible light. And Oprah does the interview with the victim, saying that since she's a victim of abuse, listen to what she's saying.
Yeah.
Since she's a victim of abuse, the abuse is bigger than Michael Jackson. Right? It's bigger than Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So she gonna do this interview, and you know, people on Twitter and social media are letting her have it.
Right.
As they should.
Yeah.
So we got that picture, right? But my problem with that whole argument is this right here.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is my problem.
Yeah.
Because now you in the photo with Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, go ahead.
And if you Google search Oprah and Harvey Weinstein, this ain't the only photo.
Yeah, that's right.
There are literally dozens of photos with her and this devil right here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Kissing him and, you know, hugging all up on him. But the reason I bring this up is because of the hypocrisy.
Go ahead, brother.
See, Harvey Weinstein is accused of raping hundreds of women.
That's right. That's right.
Are y'all listening?
Yes, sir.
The boys in Michael Jackson's case, the little boys, one of them testified as an adult in Michael Jackson's trial that Michael Jackson never touched him.